I feel like that is the beauty of being a fan of a sports team, especially when you're there for the ups and the downs. You know what I mean? Like whenever you're at the top, or even not even at the top, but just kind of your team is winning and doing good, and your expectations are high, which is where I'm at right now. It's a crazy feeling, bro, because it's a different type of pressure, right? Because you go from, oh, my team's not even good, to people don't expect me our team to make it far in the playoffs and win championships, to, oh, now my team is expected to make it to the finals. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
no, welcome back everybody. It's episode 10 of Three Man Weave. I'm your main host ZD, and then I'm with my lovely co-host CJ in the building. We're coming at you guys live on a Saturday. I think what the SEC championship game just happened, bro.
yes,
So
sir.
people were watching that heavy in Austin.
Got to, I
But
had to
yeah,
support.
no,
Got
we're
the
here to talk
got the
about who.
gear on. You know what I'm saying? Had to.
Yeah, 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 bro. I mean, you gotta rep UT. I think like I was just telling Cam a little bit like 5 minutes ago now, but yeah, I'm not. I mean, I'm from here. I like to say I'm from here. You know, I was born and raised, but like, bro, I just can't. I don't know what it is about the Longhorns, man. They're just an interesting business. But
Yeah, no, I
yeah,
feel
no,
you,
we're here
bro.
to.
It's a.
Now we're here to chop. What's up?
I was just about to say, it's a lot of like, and I try not to be like it, but like, I've been here for, like you said, probably just as long as you. I moved here in like 2011. You know what I mean? So I like to claim the Longhorns, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm like a little like T-shirt fan. You know what I mean? Like, of course, I have the little Rose Bowl patch, little Vince Young joint, but like I've been had this. You know what I mean? So because my family, it was always a UT, like Texas and stuff. So,
Yeah,
but you know what I mean? Like getting older, and like they just weren't as good, so I wasn't like, oh, I'm a UT fan, but like nonetheless, I still support them. You know what I mean? Especially in big games like
you're
this.
not.
We just had like the
Yeah,
boys over. We're watching the games, and you know what I mean. I feel like that's
yeah,
the dope thing about sports. You know what I mean? Like you could kind of just get everyone
no doubt.
together and have a little cookout. You know what I'm saying? So it's cool.
And I feel like
Um,
that's the whole purpose. I mean, even if your team isn't good, I mean, the Longhorns are pretty good, I would say, but I know even for bad teams, you know, their fans still get together. So
oh,
that's kind
100%.
of what fandom's all about. So yeah, I respect that, bro, no doubt. But yeah, man, I mean, how you been, bro? You been pretty good. You just been chilling, watching
Yeah,
some games.
yeah, bro. I've been really good. Haven't been watching as much like hoops. Like I'll pop on games here and now. Then, like I told you earlier, I was watching the end of the Lakers Hawks game, which was a really good game, and we'll get into that. And of course, the Thunder, but like you kind of were saying, I think on the pod that we recorded that didn't end up posting just because of the audio and stuff. Uh, I'm kind of blessed in a sense where like if with like a loss happens, it's kind of just like that is like the topic. You know what I mean? Like just
Mhm.
because the team is
Yeah,
so good as a unit, and it's hard for them to it's hard to critique them whenever they're beating teams by like 15, or you know what I mean. So it's kind of, what I mean, it kind of gets down to the nitty-gritty type things, but we played the Jazz, and we ended up kind of or no, yeah, we played the Jazz, and we took care of business. So
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean, we kind of talked about it like you were saying previously, but yeah, it's hard to critique your team when they're just real good. I think I saw a stat where
my
they're
bad,
like number
Pelicans,
one.
sorry.
Yeah, yeah, they're like number one in steals per game, and like they don't turn the ball over or something like that, which is
Yeah.
like crazy. They're number one in that stat. But yeah, it's hard, man. It's hard to like find any news if there really is nothing to contribute to making news, like you're saying, other than a loss or something like that.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, the Lakers have been, you know, treading along. I mean, I'm not going to talk about it for like an extensive period of time because I've said it. I mean, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but we're just like not that good. But, um, you know, we're trying our best. I mean, I watched the game a little bit yesterday. I mean, I still think LeBron is playing at, you know, the wheels on his wagon are like they got to be close to falling off because the minutes that he has to play for us right now, it's just too much. But yeah, we still can't guard anybody. We did shoot. We shot a lot better last night. Obviously, that's why the score was so high. Um, but whenever we shoot good, we still have to be able to guard the other team. And for some reason, a lot of players just play a lot better against LA.
Yeah, for
Obviously,
sure.
Trey had that 30-20 game or whatever, but um, he didn't even shoot that well. I was watching. I mean, he shot 9 of 25. I mean, you guys can kind of do the math. It's not Trey Young's not really killing you with his efficiency or anything like that. It's just his passing and
20
obviously all their
assists is
role players.
crazy.
Yeah, DeAndre Hunter's really good too. But
Yeah, that
I
was
mean,
the game winning like play, right? Y'all doubled DeAndre Hunter, and then he swung it to
mhm,
Trey, and he Trey hit it.
yeah,
And I feel like
uh,
it's crazy because obviously shout out to the boy Zach. He's been trying to watch a lot more hoops, and I'll put games on and just kind of have him on, and we're chopping it up and stuff. And I'm like, hey bro, like this is a good ass game. Like I would probably watch this if
yeah,
I were you. You know what I mean? And as we're chopping it
yeah.
up, we kind of like look like kind of stop the conversation and look at the game and stuff. And I was telling him, I was like, bro, regardless, Trey Young is just that type of player where regardless of how he's been shooting for the season, for the game, whatever, like you can't leave him open. You know what I mean? Like,
No, yeah.
and I feel like it's obviously just a thing where shout out to DeAndre Hunter because I feel like he's also one of the players that kind of get forgotten about in a sense just because he didn't probably pan out as well
I
as
mean,
he.
I guess he also kind of sucked. Like, I guess,
Yeah, well, like
like,
like I feel like at the end of the day, like they're all NBA players, so they're gonna be
I
a.
mean, yeah, of course. I just think the Hawks. I don't even think the Hawks were expecting what they're getting from Hunter this year. Is what
No,
I
of
mean.
course not. But I mean, if you got to be able to like where you're an NBA team, you should be if DeAndre Hunter is going off and hitting open shots, why are you, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I saw. I saw. I mean, I was watching the mismatch, but they were just talking about how if he looks like a real NBA player, the Hawks will be good. I mean, they have, but that's not even really what I'm talking about. Mainly just the Lakers. I mean, I talked about it last pod. We lost by like a combined like 108 points, I think,
Yeah,
to the Timberwolves and Heat, and then
that Heat game
we
was brutal.
yeah, yeah, it was. But we ended up losing, just barely to the Hawks.
Right.
But yeah, it was a lot better game, like competitive wise. But again, we just can't, especially on the road, man. We just can't figure it out.
Yeah.
We're a lot better home team as well.
Hmm.
I think kind of our role players play a lot better at home. And once again, bro, like Gabe Vincent, Christian Wood, Jared Vanderbilt, those players just haven't worked out. And when you get that mixture with LeBron at age 39, turning 40, and an aging AD who hasn't looked like himself over the last few games. I think he had a game where he had like 12 points or something. Like he's been quiet the last few weeks, but yeah, I mean, I've said it. If you guys watch the pod at all, I mean, you guys have heard me and CJ talk about it probably at length, but we're just not a good 3-point shooting team or a defensive team. So it is what it is. But I can't really complain. I mean, for the fact that we are where we are, kind of says a lot about our team. But I also think that we're still treading water. We're not. I don't think it's time to panic necessarily. We're still able to beat some pretty bad teams, but um, yeah, I don't know if we're really. That's one of the reasons why I didn't have them in a contender pretender, just because they're not really that. Like they're not really a contender.
So like as a fan right now, like is this season like already over for you, or are you still hoping?
I think. I mean, I still think they could end up, going to the playoffs or going to the play-in. But I mean, if you're every. I mean, like you said a couple minutes ago, bro. If you're in the NBA, I'm assuming your goal is to win the NBA Finals, right? Like,
Hmm.
unless you're the Wizards, but
Yeah.
um, I mean, I wouldn't say it's like over, so it's okay. I mean, it's kind of you have to be able to weather the storm and be able to kind of like deal with the runs, with the losses and the wins, and not every team is gonna have again be like the Thunder, have kind of crazy role players. Like it's just you kind of just have to deal with what you can deal with. If you get LeBron on a back to back, he might give you 25 points and that can help you win, but you're not expecting anything too much. You're just trying to get to the end of the season.
Hey, brother, I was right there with you, man. Trust me. I,
Oh, bro.
you know what I mean? I was, and that's the crazy thing, right? Because I feel like that is the beauty of being a fan of a sports team, especially when you're there for the ups and the downs. You know what I mean? Like whenever you're at the top, or even not even at the top, but just kind of your team is winning and doing good, and your expectations are high, which is where I'm at right now. It's a crazy feeling, bro, because it's a different type of pressure, right? Because you go from, oh, my team's not even good, to people don't expect me our team to make it far in the playoffs and win championships, to, oh, now my team is expected to make it to the finals. You know what I mean? So, nah, dude, I'm right there with you, bro. I understand it, but I don't know. I can't never count y'all out for real. Y'all are just the Lakers. Y'all are like the name. You know what I mean? I feel like it always goes back to that. Y'all are always going to be able to sign a free agent. You know, one of the big free. I don't know. I can't name off the top of my head, but I'm assuming someone is going to be in the.
Nah,
You don't think so?
I mean not just the luxury cap, but there's just restrictions that are in place that don't allow for us to do that. I think that's kind of the issue right now is we don't have the funds to be able to get a max player. I mean, people want to come play for LA, but they also want to come play for LA at the right price point. But
Right.
the point with the Thunder that you're trying to make, I also think too, is like, for example, when they get bounced by the Mavericks last year, that's probably more frustrating than me watching the Lakers lose to the Nuggets because I'm not expecting us to beat the Nuggets, right? So,
Right.
yeah, just having realistic expectations of your team, and I mean that's really all I can do at this point. But I mean, yeah, I mean, like you're talking about fandom, bro. I mean, I'm a fan of the Angels and the Texans, and we've been horrible pretty much all my life. So,
Hey.
the Texans just now got around to being good, but yeah, it's tough. But yeah, man. I mean,
Yes, sir.
there's not really too much to talk about. I mean, I mean, there's some NBA news and stuff like that. Franz got hurt, right?
Sadly,
You know,
yes.
I think he got hurt today, and I was watching Evan Mobley had like a 40 piece today. It's
Yes,
pretty
I saw
cool.
that.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, no, I've been really just watching the Lakers, um, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Hey, bro, ain't nothing
I've
like
been
watching
losing
your favorite team, bro, regardless of wins or losses. You know what I mean?
for sure.
Of
Yeah,
course, it always is a little bit better when your team wins, but like I said,
no,
you're a
of
true fan, and I feel like that needs to go like on notice. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people like that don't aren't like prideful of that, because like I was saying prior to, like, I wasn't a fan of UT, let's say, when they're bad, but of course now, like, they're a little bit better, I'm rocking with them. But like with the Thunder, like I've been like, my fucking at name is Thunder Up, bro, like, you know what I mean, like that's
yeah, yeah,
forever
yeah.
attached to me, like, regardless of, and I don't even know if I'm gonna change it, side note, but sorry, going on a little tangent, but just like being able to like say that you've been there, regardless of how successful your team is. I feel like it needs to go. Like, people need to be appreciated for that, because
Yeah, yeah,
that's how
for
you know
sure.
you're a true fan. You know what I mean? Especially with the NBA season
Yeah,
so long, and anything can happen. People get injured. Seasons can
yeah,
teams can lose their season in a heartbeat. You know what I mean? So, but
yeah. I think, yeah, and yeah, like you're saying, it depends on the franchise, right? Like the Lakers are a pretty good franchise to be a fan of, I would say,
right.
but we've won a lot, so that also helps me kind of remember that. Like you're saying, everybody kind of gets their turn. I was telling my girl at some point the Pistons will win an NBA championship. I don't
I
know
hope
when,
so.
but it will.
I hope so.
So,
That'd be cool to see.
oh yeah, I think I mean, a lot of those younger franchises, like maybe not necessarily, maybe not even in our lifetime per se, but I know one day for sure.
Yeah.
So
Hey, that's the beauty of the league, bro. It's history.
yeah,
But
for sure.
yeah, I guess kind of going into our next topic, bro. You wanted to come with us with the who we think is going to be projected to be the All
Yeah,
Star teams.
it's in February, bro, so it's not even that far away.
Yeah, obviously
Yeah,
injuries and stuff can happen.
yeah,
So, and I feel like that's the main
yeah,
thing now. Especially this
yeah.
year.
I just wanted to see too in February, like how accurate you are.
Okay.
because that could be pretty cool. Like you might get a lot of them, a lot more than you think.
Right. I got you. Yeah, I didn't go like too crazy. I feel like, for the most part, like I told you prior to us recording, I do feel like I probably missed somebody. But that is the cool thing about having
In
a
the game,
co-host that we can kind of chop it up about and bring
right.
into
Yeah.
light. Like maybe you forget about somebody, but I doubt it. But you know what I'm saying. But I guess how do you want to do it? Do you want to do like who we
Yeah,
think
no, you can go
starting
through
five or?
your yeah, you can go through your starting five and your reserves and just explain why you think they'll most likely be all stars and kind of your thoughts on how they've been playing this season. And then obviously those wild card players are a little bit like you're saying a little bit more the ones where you're starting to add those players where you don't really know, right? Like there's a
Right.
couple players that could be in those spots. So interesting to hear kind of why you put them in those spots, and then yeah, you're done from there. I mean, it'll be a decent segment. So
Okay. Bet. So I guess I have
you
my
already
little.
have them too, luckily, so it won't be that hard.
Yeah. I made a list and everything already, so came a little prepared today. So for my Western Conference, the starters I had, and of course, like I feel like that's the thing. Also with the All Star game, like guards can also be a point guard, shooting guards could be a point guard. So it gets a little dicey, you know what I'm saying? So it gets a little.
Mm-hmm.
So my starters though, I had point guard Shea, shooting guard Luca, small forward LeBron, power forward AD, center Jokic. Um, Honestly, the only one that I was really kind of I'll kind of break it down to you. I feel like some of these people are kind of self-explanatory. I really don't need to explain, especially if y'all been keeping up with hoops and stuff. Shea, Jokic, and then Luca. Just based off of like, I was kind of. Oh, the only thing I was about it was maybe like the games played, but even then, I feel like you can't keep Luca out of a All Star game. You know what I mean? Uh,
Yeah, I mean, he's played.
yeah, no, he
I think,
has.
yeah, he missed like those 5 or 6 games,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he's been in.
Right. And then the only one like I said was the small forward, and I feel like that's where it kind of gets a little dicey in like the power forward, small forward area for the West. There's like
You interesting. No, yeah,
no,
you
I
have Braun for me is interesting. So that's
really
interesting that you have him. Yeah,
yeah, I just think I don't know, I don't not off the top of my head at least. I mean, I have a little bit in my like wild cards and even like second, but I don't have for my wild card. It's not another small forward. It's another center and
center.
guard.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think the spot will go to Durant or Braun. So we'll
Right.
see.
Right.
Two people, right?
Right.
And
So,
I'm sure you would have him in your reserve spot for that,
oh,
for
low
sure.
key,
I'm.
that's who I left off was KD.
Oh, okay. I was gonna. Okay, that's fine.
That's a
So
little
you can
awkward.
swap your
Okay.
bench if you
Right.
put
Okay.
KD.
All right. Yeah. So I'm gonna move some stuff around, but I'll definitely put probably it's either KD or Braun. I think we'll.
LeBron. That's
I,
what I was thinking.
I think we'll
Because I
probably give
really
it to
see
Braun.
Braun as a starter, bro. I got lit. I hope he starts with AD because I
Yeah.
think AD it'll be either KD or AD or Braun and AD. So I hope
I
it's
think
Braun and AD for
I think
sure.
it's gonna be Braun and
Honestly,
AD, bro. I just don't think they're not gonna not have him be a. He's probably gonna be a captain, to be honest.
also Durant's been hurt, so I'm
Right.
crossing my fingers.
And that's another reason why you'll see kind of I'll say who I originally had before
Yeah,
I have like cuz I didn't forget about KD. I think I took into consideration his injuries and I didn't know how that's going to
yeah. That's fair.
so
That's fair.
so for my reserves, I have point guard De'Aaron Fox, shooting guard Ant,
Yeah,
small forward Brandon Ingram, power forward
interesting.
Jalen Williams, center Wemby, and that's where I say I think Bi kind of Pelicans are obviously aren't that good of a team, but I think Bi has been playing at an All Star level this whole season.
Yeah, he has.
That and I feel
He
like a
has
lot of
for sure.
people just because he's playing on such a bad team, he's not getting the
Nothing wrong
recognition
with
he
that kid,
deserves.
bro.
But that's who I had for KD, but I would probably put
The
KD
best
above.
year of his career. This year.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I
yeah.
think he has a lot to prove right now. He's trying to
Yeah.
see like if he's going to stay there or if they're going to trade him or you know what I mean. So
Talked about this before. I just don't understand what the Lakers front out like. You could see that he was gonna be good, bro. I don't understand. Like I
Yeah,
really, if you would have asked me 8 years ago, is Bi going to be good? I think you would have said yes back then. So like,
100%.
it's just yeah, it's just so that bothers me every time we talk about him because I'm like, I can't believe that people were just like, nah.
Yeah. And then for my wild cards, I have my first one, Sengun. And then for my second one, I have D-Book.
I love those. Okay, yeah, I love those. Yeah, no, mine is a little different actually, so I'm excited. I think there's a little bit of a flair and finesse, but
Okay.
I guess I'll start off with my starters, bro, and we'll I'll kind of give a little
Right, right,
background on
right.
why I'm but Shea is probably at my point. I got to give it to him, man. He has the most total points in the NBA right now. Hasn't missed a game either. I don't think. I don't think. Um,
Maybe one. I don't. Yeah,
maybe one.
yeah, maybe
Yeah,
one.
maybe. But just doesn't really miss games. He's probably the best mid-range shooter we have besides Kevin Durant in the NBA right now, and he's just been able to carry the Thunder to a number one seed or close to it pretty much this first half of the season. So I don't see how the NBA coaches and the fans like wouldn't put him there, right? So like you were saying, kind of when you were doing yours, you mentioned like there's a couple on here: Jokic, Shea, Doncic. Those three dudes usually they'll probably start for the next couple years. Like whenever we do these, we probably won't change those three dudes too much because
Yeah.
they'll be they usually scoop up the West. But my next player is obviously Luca, and he's been a lot better, bro. Way better these last few games. So that's a little bit scary. I think we were talking about if the Mavericks could get Luka Doncic to start playing well, that they would be a high quality team. And I think he's starting to finally come around. It's crazy to say that even him not playing super well is still All Star starter because there's just not a better guard right now. Um, and you left off one dude where I was like, really? Okay. Like it's gonna be interesting later. Like you're gonna see.
Let's hear it.
But yeah, I had Luca at my shooting guard and like CJ was talking about, man, I love the All Star game because it doesn't really matter. Like Luca could play at the point and they have Shea at the two, or it might flip flop, or they might just be like, you can have it or whatever. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think last year, bro, because the last 2 years, Shea and Luca have started together.
Nah,
Last year,
just
bro,
just last year.
or just one,
Just
just
last
last
year.
year, bro. Um, Shea had like a 20 piece. Like he was going for it a little bit. It
You
was
gotta
something
let him know,
slight.
bro. First year being a
Yeah,
starter.
bro. I like seeing Shea get to it though, because Luca doesn't care about it, but
Nah.
Shea is gonna try to score. So I think Luca obviously is gonna get that second spot, and then third, yeah, bro, I had Kevin Durant. Um, so that was my flip flop from you. You said Braun. I had Katie in there just because his efficiency has been through the roof, and just I, it's crazy to say this, but he might even be like a better scorer than when he was younger,
Mm,
like pre-injury. So it's
facts.
kind of crazy to see his game develop, and obviously he still continues to be one of the best players we have in this league. And I just at his size, I feel like the West could really need use that in the front court, especially when they're going up against the East, kind of how big those guys are, and you'll see whenever we do it later. My next player on this list is AD. Um, what can I say, man? He's been an Iron Man. There's no longer questions about his durability and if he wants to play. I think over the last 70, 80 games, he's probably played about almost 90% of them, which has been awesome.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't really miss a ton of games anymore, which is awesome because that's really what holds AD back is he's going to get the counting stats. He's a defensive menace. He's probably the best defensive starter we have in the West. Um, and so yeah, he's going to get the starting spot and he deserves it, bro. I mean, I think he's probably like the most offensively gifted player that we have like in the front court, but I think Jokic just is a better cerebral player and he's able to control the defense a little bit more. And obviously that's my last and final spot for the starters is Nikola Jokic, and there's just really not much more to be said about him. I think he could be the fourth MVP, get his fourth MVP, make it three straight, and obviously that'll be something that hasn't been done in a while. But shout out to him. He's been an absolute Iron Man for the Nuggets. Just think he only missed 2 games due to personal reasons. Doesn't really miss games either, and just continues to be the force that they need in their front court. And obviously he's going to get the votes, and the coaches are going to vote him in. So that's my starting five. But moving on to reserves, bro, I got Stephen Curry running the point.
That's who I
In
forgot.
Yeah, that's who you forgot, but
Absolutely.
it's also in San Fran. It's in the Warriors arena,
I
so they're
forgot
gonna
about
make
that.
sure that
Wow. No
it's
disrespect, Curry.
but he hasn't been like super crazy, honestly. But again, like CJ's saying, it's kind of hard to forget about Steph because
Yeah.
he's Steph, and he's still putting up numbers at his age that are just astronomical, and still shooting one of the better percentages in the NBA still after all these years. And just props to him, man. He's also he's kind of in the alien tier, bro. When we were doing our point guard tiers, it's just because like there's no other words to describe Curry that haven't already been said. And unfortunately, he's not going to start because Shea and Luca are that good. So it's kind of interesting to see. Like, I don't think Curry, he's probably never going to start again, which is interesting.
Mm.
But that's fine. And I don't think it really matters just because obviously he's not as good as those next tier players, but he's still great. So you got to give it to Curry, obviously.
Right.
Um,
Damn, I can't believe I
shooting guard,
forgot about him.
yeah, bro, nah, for sure. And it's gonna be in San Fran, so they're
Yeah.
gonna have a dub on there. I didn't know, like. There's really nobody else too that they can put on there that would make sense.
Nope.
But my next player up, man, shooting guard, moving on is Kyrie Irving. I just feel like
Mm.
Kyrie definitely deserves to be an All Star this year because people have forgotten about when Luka doesn't play, they still need somebody to be the focal point of the offense. And Kyrie has been a maestro this year. And again, bro, there's really not much more to say. He's pretty much a walking 50, 40, 90. And he continues to get better with age, in my opinion. He's just aging like fine wine. His footwork, everything looks super polished. And he's still scoring at 99th percentile in the league. Um, yeah, it's Kyrie Irving season for sure. He's been healer this year, and I think him going to the Mavericks completely changed the way that he thought about basketball, and he just seems like he's in a way better place. So obviously you gotta shout out those two. Those, like Kyrie Irving and Stephen Curry are aliens, dude. Like you may not see players like that again for the longevity that those guys have doing what they do still at the pretty much the same level they've been doing it at for the last 8 to 9 years. So that shit's just insane. But shout out Kyrie. Next, obviously, bro, I gotta go with Bron. That's
Of
clearly
course.
I got to.
Of course.
Yeah, he's my small forward and he's on the Lakers, man. So Lake Show, CJ kind of already explained it. He had him in the starters, so he thinks he could even start, and that kind of goes to show you LeBron's longevity is just unmatched, bro. I mean, you're not gonna see it again. You're just not. And so he's always gonna get votes because he's LeBron James. I think even if he was 50 and he was averaging 2 points a game, he would still get votes. But he's actually playing at high level for sure, and he's shooting threes, some of the best that he's ever done in his career. So shout out Braun for sure. And then next up, obviously got Al P. I mean, not really too much to say about that. Like CJ was saying, I think he deserves to be an All Star, and I think now more than ever, people are really starting to fear him as an offensive hub. And the Rockets are no slouch. They're one of the better teams in the West, and I think they deserve an All Star for sure. If the NBA knows what they're doing, they'll make sure that they have Al P there. And kind of like CJ was saying again, I'm not going to talk about it too much. He's just been like pretty much like he's their future, bro. Like if it wasn't for Alperen Şengün, which is crazy because he came from the Thunder, but if it
Yes,
wasn't for
sir.
Alp, I don't know if the Rockets would have a lot of hope. And I think because they have him, they know that they can build around him and use Amen and Tari and Jalen Green and those guys will be able to be successful around him. So obviously, I have to put him in. So shout out Alp, and then yeah, Victor Wembanyama, bro. I mean, duh, right? I
Right.
think normally and Victor would occupy these two spots for me. But Chet's unfortunately hurt this season. But yeah, Victor Wembanyama got to put him in. I mean, 7-footer shooting from 30 feet at 38%, averaging 20 a game. Blocks and stocks. He does it all, and he's the focal point of their offense in San Antonio, and he's looking to be that for the next 10 to 15 years, bro. So Wemby definitely needs to get the All Star nod. I think they're gonna definitely have him there, and he deserves to be there. I think his time is coming, bro. It's already here,
It's
but it's
already here.
definitely
Yep.
coming. So yeah, I think that kind of wraps up my reserves. So I hope you're messing with those. And then my two wild card spots, obviously, bro, I got to give it to Devin Booker. Um, he's been absolutely brilliant this year too, and it kind of I think his play gets swept under the rug a lot because he's not, you know, super loud. Like his buckets are pretty quiet as well. Does a lot of work in the mid range and the free throw line. But CJ knows, bro. He was one of the reasons why they won the gold medal this year in France, and he's obviously been contributing to why the Suns are winning. And he's really the only healthy Sun all the time. He's really the only player that's been consistently in the lineup besides Tyus Jones.
Yep.
So shout out D-Book. He's been awesome this year, averaging like 7 assists, 25 points. Gotta put him in there. And then last but definitely not least, Jalen Williams, no doubt. This dude is definitely probably like my favorite. I don't know, Brand. He's definitely like my favorite kind of like small power forward in the NBA right now. He can do it all on defense, and his offensive game also kind of speaks for itself. And I just feel like this year, out of any year, it would be a perfect time to give the Thunder 2 to 3 All Stars, and I feel like they're gonna get him in. So shout out J Dub, man. I had to put him on the list. He's definitely last, but he's not least, and it's gonna be cool to see him in his first All Star game, especially with the hopefully, in the future, kind of if they end up doing that format, it'll be interesting to kind of see how those teams shape out. But yeah, that wraps up my kind of like my reserves, and I actually had a couple snubs, bro, and they're both from the Kings. It's Sabonis and Fox. I don't think they're gonna make it this year, just because the Kings haven't been that good, to be honest. And it's unfortunate because those guys are balling out. So yeah, that's my all-star starters, bro, for 2020 25.
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, I definitely left off Steph for sure and Kyrie, but dude, I don't know. There's so
Who would
many
you
good
play?
players, bro.
Yeah, bro, I left off. Remember, I left off Ant.
You left off Ant for sure.
He's gonna make it. I just don't know. I just don't think he should replace any of the players that I named.
Yeah, it sucks. There's so many good guards in the West, bro. Cause like
Yeah,
I put De'Aaron Fox as my reserve. Low key, I'm thinking about. I don't know if he's definitely not gonna make it. Like it's
yeah,
gonna be Curry for sure, and then I feel like it's gonna be Ant and Kyrie might get snubbed. Low key,
yeah, bro.
but yeah. Okay, okay. All
Fair,
right. So
fair enough.
should we go into the Eastern Conference now?
Yeah, bro. I mean, yeah. I want to hear yours, man. I'm interested.
All
The
right.
East is where it gets sticky.
It gets a little crazy here. All right. I'm just gonna start off, bro. Starters, point guard Trey Young, shooting guard Donovan Mitchell, small forward Jason Tatum, power forward Giannis, and my center is Cat. I guess the only one that I was kind of debating about, honestly, because I feel like these other positions have been kind of solidified in my eyes. Point guard is the point guard. I just feel like Trey Young has been having an insane season. Like I said, just dropped 20 and 20.
Mhm.
Shit, did he drop 30 and 20
Yeah, yeah. 30.
on the Lakers? And he's leading the league in assists. Obviously, he might not be shooting as well from the field, but just kind of the team that has been surrounded by him this season, and I feel like that it kind of goes to show, the development that they've had. And shout out to that fucking DeJounte Murray, Dyson Daniels trade. That's probably been their greatest trade in
Bro,
their team history. But
crazy, right?
I just
Of
think
course it is.
right. I just think he's been having a spectacular season, and I think he's
No, fair enough.
gonna get that starting position. Um, Other ones, I don't really have much to say.
Okay.
Honestly, I feel like Tatum is quietly having a MVP season, but like we said, I kind of go back to what I said at the beginning of this whole us season. Really, I just think he's kind of affected by the team he's been on and the fact that they're so good. Obviously, he's putting up these numbers, but you have pretty much a starting 7 or 8. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to judge that, but he's having a
Yeah,
spectacular
no,
season.
for sure, bro.
Giannis,
Crazy.
what more can I say? I feel like Giannis was never the issue about the Bucks that we were talking about this whole season. He's been the one that's been putting them on his back all year, pretty much. I think
Yep.
averaging like damn near a 30-point triple double or something like that. So, and then Cat. what more can I say about Cat, man? He's
bro. Of course, gotta have him.
he's having crazy. I think we
Gotta
we
have
looked
him.
him up on Shot Creator last episode, and pretty much every single one of his stats are like in green, 99 percentile. Let me see. Yeah, pretty much everything besides his assists, and he's still averaging 3. Everything else is
Yeah.
80 percentile and above. So, but yeah, I feel like he definitely deserves that All Star nod. And then my reserves. This is where I had to really think, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Definitely have someone that probably will be on your list, I would assume, but might not have made my list. Point guard, I have LaMelo, man. I mean, what more can I say? LaMelo's been going crazy.
I have
Feel
him
like
starting.
yeah, that was the only one that I was thinking about, bro. That was the only one for the stars.
Yeah,
That was the one position I was like, damn, like
for sure. I
you
mean,
know what I
he's
mean?
just a bucket.
Bucket. And like I
He's a
said, like
bucket.
point guard, shooting guard kind of switches around, right? So for my reserve, for my guard, my second guard, I have Dame actually. Dame's been balling out,
Mm,
quietly having one of his better seasons in the past couple years. I feel like him and Giannis are kind of gelling together, kind of figuring out how to play with each
man,
other.
you're gonna be interested in mine.
Oh, I bet. Small forward, I have, which it just kind of the way the thing positions work in the Eastern Conference right now. I have Jalen Brown. Of course, feel like
Mm,
he definitely needs an All Star nod. Like he was on your
yeah,
S tier for small forwards for this season. Um, Great player on both sides of the court. We know what Jalen Brown could be. Is he averaging 25 this year? Or? He's been going
yeah.
crazy,
He's
bro.
25.
Let me see.
Crazy.
But yeah, nonetheless, Jalen Brown definitely feel like he's gonna be getting an All Star nod. But he's my small forward coming off the bench. My power forward. This is where it gets a little. I feel like this one is shout out to the youngins. You know what I'm saying? My power
Yeah,
forward I actually have coming off the bench is Jalen Johnson, bro.
yeah.
You know what I'm
Ooh,
saying? Yeah,
I like that.
he just is exactly what the Hawks have needed. He's able to stretch the floor out, be able to handle the ball a little bit whenever
I like
he's
that.
asked to it. He can play really good defense, very athletic. Yeah, it's I just think if y'all haven't really checked out any of Jalen Johnson highlights or any of his shot creator, any of his clips from there, bro, he's really good, and I feel like he deserves to get to his recognition. He might not get it. I feel like this is one of those, like I said, like young players that I want to show love to, and I feel like should be getting the All Star nod. But like I said, the Eastern Conference is crazy when it comes to the forwards. So, but I definitely have him there. And then
Yeah,
honestly, coming off of my bench press for my big man center, I have Vucevic.
nothing wrong with that.
I mean, I feel like you talked about him a lot. We if y'all didn't see, we posted our centers tier list. ZD talked about everybody, and he's talking very highly of Vucevic. He's been very efficient scorer. I think he's averaging like 10 rebounds a game. You know what I mean? And 21
Yeah,
points, 9.8 rebounds a game. I mean, as a big man, like really, what more can you ask for? And obviously, with Embiid out, I feel like they're in. The Eastern Conference, I wouldn't say is weak in the center spot because there's obviously I left out Jared Allen and there's other big man that
yeah,
contributes in different ways. But I just think Vucevic with the amount of points that he's been putting up and at the efficiency he's been getting these points and scoring buckets, I just had to put him on there. You know what I mean? And then for my wild card, I brought it up to you earlier. I had to put Franz on here. Obviously he just got
sure.
injured. He's definitely not gonna get it. I would assume not. Like you said, All Star game is in 2 months, and he's gonna be injured for at least a month. So I doubt he's gonna get that. But I just had to give
Yeah,
him that nod. Evan Mobley is my other one. He's been playing
Yeah,
really well. Arguably could be a starter. Honestly, I might say he probably is a starter for you, right?
Ooh. Nah,
No, okay, never
don't
mind.
worry.
Okay, never mind then. But yeah, I mean, I feel like the thing with Evan Mobley this year is just he's scoring the ball a lot better. He's looking a lot more comfortable with the ball in his hand. And I feel like they're giving him the opportunities to bring the ball up every possession, every now and then,
Yeah.
and you know what I mean. So it's cool seeing that because we that is a type. Yeah, he's been shooting it a lot better as well. You know what I mean. So I feel like that was the thing with Evan Mobley. It was just, hey, if he can develop somewhat of a jumper or even be able to handle the ball a little bit, like he's gonna be really good because we know what he can contribute to the defensive side of the ball.
Yes, bro.
And then my last
I love
wild
that.
card, shout out to Los. I gotta put my that boy Tyler Harrow on there, bro. I got to, bro. He's definitely in there for my wild
Yeah.
card. He's been going crazy, going on burners, bro.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
dropping
bro.
30 with ease. You know what I mean? Like it's insane
All trades, man. Hero for sure.
for sure.
He's a hero.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that
That's a
kind of
good
rounds
one.
up
That's a
my
good one.
Eastern Conference All Stars.
Not gonna lie, that's a good one. Yeah, bro. Facts. I like those a lot. In my opinion, honestly, I think your list is even smoother than mine. So, I'll
Really?
see what you think.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see.
Yeah.
Um, for my All-Star starters, though, obviously you guys kind of heard the banter that me and CJ was having, back in whatever. But the Lamelo Ball's got to start for me, man. I mean, come on, come on. I think he just got hurt
He
for a little
did.
second.
Yeah, he did just get hurt.
Kind of
That's
puts a
not.
damper on his potential All Star campaign. But other than that, I think he's been the best guard in the East,
Yeah.
without a doubt, hands down. Like it's Lamelo Ball, and just his ability to be able to stretch the defense, what he can do with his passing and his ability to just his gravity to just drag defenders away from other people, bro, is crazy. So I got to give him the starter nod. Next, bro, it's Donovan Mitchell for sure. The Cavs are the best team in the East, so they're gonna have, or they're gonna have them and the Celtics are gonna have a couple All Stars, and Donovan Mitchell is gonna be one of them. And I think he'll probably be starting. I just feel like this season he's been the main catalyst of why the Cavs have been so good. And, if you guys don't know, I think they won what it was like 15 games earlier this year straight, or
Yep.
something crazy like that. Um, and yeah, I mean he's not doing the best he's ever done in terms of counting stats. He has had better seasons, but I just think with how much the Cavs are winning, bro, it really goes without saying. He's going to be starting for sure. My next player in the lineup, bro, I mean, like CJ was saying, bro, it's Jason Tatum, man. I mean, he's putting up a quiet MVP season, and I really think, he's probably third in that category as of right now. I think AD's fourth, and then Shea second, Jokic is first. But Tatum's been amazing this year. He's playing with his chip on his shoulder, man. I mean, kind of whatever happened to him in the Olympics, it seems to me that he's gotten over that, and he looks to be kind of like a new player, man. He looks to play with a lot of confidence now. He's always looking to shoot threes. He's been shooting a lot of threes. He's been hitting them though. I think he's averaging almost 30, so he's definitely going to be starting for the Eastern Conference. And then my next player, of course, has got to be Giannis. I mean, there's no other power forward that we can even think of who deserves a starting spot over him. So I'm not going to talk about that too much. He's alien tier, one of the best players that we have, probably top five player in the NBA in general. So got to give Giannis the starting nod, obviously. But this player, man, Cat is my center, bro, and Cat's been amazing this year. I think Cat's probably been my biggest surprise, and I was not expecting the production that he's been able to give the Knicks this season. And kind of like CJ was alluding to, he's averaging the most rebounds in the NBA, and he's also scoring over 20 points. And the stuff that he can do because he can hit threes. Again, not a lot of centers can really do that in the NBA, and he's given everybody fits. And I feel like Cat has definitely been a huge surprise for everybody. So he'll most likely start. And if you guys remember too, he dropped 50 in an All Star game, I think last year, but he ended up putting up 50. So he likes to go out and really try to get some buckets in these. But yeah, not for sure. But moving on to my reserves, man. I got to do it. I got to do it. I got to put Dame in there, man. He's my starting point guard. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I feel like He's just been going crazy, and he's not getting the love that he really deserves because he's older. But just to see his progression from last season, kind of how everything's starting to look up for him, it's been amazing. And obviously, he's been a lot more consistent this year, and that's what the Bucks have needed to really turn their season around. You know, we haven't really been talking about them as much because we don't need to. You know, they're not losing as many games, and they look a lot better, and that's partly due to Damian Lillard. So shout out Dame for sure. But yeah, my next player on this list, man, he's gonna be a reserve. It's interesting. I think it's between this player. I think it's between Trey or Brunson, but I got to give it to Trey.
Okay.
I had Trey Young as a reserve. Obviously, if you guys don't know, he's just been absolutely going crazy with his assists. And like CJ was talking about earlier on the pod, Trey is one of those players that doesn't even need to shoot well to impact the game. And I think it really goes to show you this season kind of his ability to really what he does to the defense, his ability to pull the defense away from the other like his own team to be able to get them looks and get opportunities. It's kind of crazy to see that his gravity and he tracks the defense, and he sprays it out to his shooters, bro, and they be hitting them. So shout out Trey, bro. He definitely deserves to be on the list, no doubt. So I had to pick him over Brunson, unfortunately. Um, Small forward spot, I got Jaylen Brown too. Uh, it's crazy that Jason Tatum plays small forward in the starters, but normally JB would probably get that spot, but unfortunately Tatum's gonna take that spot. So I got to give the reserve spot to JB. I mean, he's one of the only S tier small forwards we have in the NBA, and what more can I say? I mean, he's averaging 25 on one of the top 5 teams in the NBA right now, and he continues to get better with his handle. I think the turnovers were a big thing for him. And kind of like CJ was saying with Evan Mobley, he looks a lot better dribbling the ball and handling the ball as a point guard. So I think Jaylen Brown's ascension is kind of the reason why the Celtics championship window hasn't closed. In fact, it's wide open. So yeah, I got to give it to JB, bro. But my next player I had on this list, fam, is Jared Allen, bro. I think Jared Allen or Evan Mobley could be at the spot. I think they'll, you know, you'll see who I'm going to talk about next, but I think they'll be interchanging. So it could be Evan Mobley if you wanted to put him here, but I put Jared Allen at the power forward spot, and obviously this is pretty self-explanatory, but he's just been playing at a all-star level on an all-star team. He's one of the main reasons why the Cavs are so good. His defensive impact and also the things he's been able to do on offense have been a pretty big deal for them, honestly. And I feel like without Jared Allen, they definitely be missing a huge piece of the Cavs. So I feel like he's definitely going to get an All Star nod, and I think he has one other time, dude. I think
I think it was
once.
like
I
due
could
to
be wrong.
injuries or something like that, but yeah.
Injury, but this would be his first time, so I could see them giving it to him for sure. But the next player that I have on this list is Evan Mobley. I mean, kind of like CJ was saying, I mean, there's not really too much more to say. His improvement has been definitely, he could win the most improved player, honestly, if they wanted to give it to him. It's kind of a sneaky one, Evan Mobley. But yeah, bro, I mean, his ascension from the 3 point line and being able to handle the rock and him being able to contribute to a winning team, I think was the big question mark. And now the Cavs are kind of proving that they are a winning team, and their net rating says that. And they're competing with some of the best teams in the NBA. And I just feel like the NBA is going to do their part on getting them a couple of All Stars because they deserve it, man. There's a reason why their team is so good, and I think Jared Allen, Mobley, and Donovan Mitchell are kind of their main core. And those 3 dudes might be in the All Star game. But yeah, bro, my wild card, I had to put Jalen Johnson in there, no doubt. Um, Kind of like you were saying, man, it's just I feel like he deserves to be an All Star. He's one of the only players in the NBA to average, 20, 10, and 5. I feel like the coaches are gonna vote him in if he doesn't get in by fan vote. But I feel like his fans are going up by the day, man. I mean, the Jalen Johnson fan club is big.
Yeah,
It's
it's
big,
getting
bro.
up
I
there,
haven't heard
bro.
a lot of haters. Yeah, I haven't heard a lot of haters of his game, and the Hawks deserve. I think the Hawks deserve 2 All Stars as well. They've been another team that has been somehow been able to stay afloat, and I know a lot of people didn't think that they would be okay, but they've been beating some of the better teams in the NBA, and it's for a reason. So I don't think Dyson Daniels is there just yet,
Not yet,
but
not
Jalen
yet.
Johnson for sure. Yeah, not yet, but Jalen Johnson for sure. I mean, I got to show love to him. And then my next player, bro, I know you're gonna like this, Cade Cunningham. I think he should be a first-time All-Star this year, man.
Yeah,
And I think he might get that spot. I have a feeling we're gonna hit on the wild cards, bro. Or Jalen Johnson and Cade are gonna be in there somehow. I just
yeah,
feel
yeah.
like They're gonna give the 15th one, and it's got to be Cade, man. He's like, I think he's top five in the league in assists, and he's also getting you about 20 points. And he's also had a massive improvement as well, just being able to handle the ball and cut down his turnovers. And yeah, people know about Cade now, man. I feel like he's starting to finally come around as like a franchise player. But if you guys haven't been watching any Detroit basketball, that's why they don't. They already have more wins than they do last season. It's because of Cade Cunningham. So
Yep.
yeah, bro, that's gonna
Hell yeah.
the snubs for me, bro. The snubs for me were Vucevic and RJ Barrett.
Ooh. Yeah, snubs for me were definitely Brunson and who'd you just say?
Oh, I had Vucevic. You had him in there.
Jared Allen. Jared Allen.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
because I
No, yeah,
definitely
Brunson could steal one of these guard spots, bro. Now that I'm thinking
100%.
about it.
He could go on a little Brunson burner for the next month and a half, and he's already in the.
Yeah,
You know.
he might replace one of those dudes, but that's what I have so far. So,
Hell yeah, bro.
um, yeah,
Fire.
man.
I like it.
I mean,
That was
I'm
good.
glad. Yeah, thanks. I'm glad you were able to do that. Hopefully, it was a fun exercise for you, man. And
Yeah, no, I like that
yeah,
shit, bro.
brother.
That was good.
Yeah, we'll kind of see how how accurate we are later down the line.
Yeah, 100%. We'll definitely got to do a little short of like our predictions and like the actual one or something. You know what I mean? That'd be pretty
So,
cool.
so
Shit, bro.
100%.
Was there anything else? Any closing thoughts? Any?
Yeah, man. I just hope the Lakers can figure out a little something in the next couple games. I'm excited to kind of watch them, and hopefully JJ can figure out something. But in terms of what we're bringing, we're just gonna keep being consistent, bro. We've been putting these episodes out pretty consistently, which has been nice. And yeah, bro. I mean, other than that, just probably sign out, and we'll probably get on the next one.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Well, if y'all enjoyed this episode of the Three Man Weave, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Go follow us on all social medias. And we'll catch
For
y'all next
sure.
time, man. Peace. Three man, three man, three
Peace.
man.
Three
Thunder up,
man.
baby.
Like, let's go. For sure.
Yes, sir. Hell yeah.